So Battle for Azeroth comes out in only 3 days. Now, I think for the rest of the world, it's actually 4 days because it comes out on the 14th for most countries. But in the United States, it comes out on the 13th. We get a full day of play before anybody else, apparently, which is kind of cool, kind of weird, kind of not fair. But I wanted to share a few tips for leveling in Battle for Azeroth with you guys today. Now, I'm not going to share a lot of like analytical tips, like quest tier first, quest tier second, quest tier third. This is why you do this, nothing like that. I don't want to do that. What I really want to get into is a little bit more of like gear and how you can get extra like bonus XP and stuff like that. So let's get into it. So first off, the very first thing that I suggest you guys do, and I highly suggest this for one reason, and that is I want you guys to gear up in Darkshore by doing the world quest. The reason why is because this gives you guys an average item level of 210 if you have all your slots filled by those world quests, which I don't think they drop rings or trinkets. Not entirely sure on that. So it's a great place to go to kind of pick up some really good gear, especially for BFA. That's like 900 item level gear or something like that. Like that's really good item level gear. Or actually, it might be like 915 or something like that. So it's really, really good item level gear. And I highly suggest it. I think it's a really good call to go there and kind of just do these quests daily. You're not going to get a ton of gear off of them, but definitely go and just do them daily. This next tip, of course, everything that I'm mentioning is it's subject to whatever you guys want to do. It's up to you guys to decide like, oh yeah, I want to do that, or I just don't want to do that. And this is kind of one of them. And I'm going to say it is turn on PvP. So enable your honor mode or whatever it's called. Enable that because you're going to get 10% increased XP as well as 10% gold as well as 10% anything else that drops that is a quantity, like any kind of a supply or something like that. You know how you had like war supplies and stuff like that in other expansions. Now you're going to have those in this expansion and you're going to get 10% more just for having that on. Or I would expect you guys to kind of question and be like, well, why would I do that? That would slow me down if I keep getting killed. Well, no, not as long as you're starting out with not as long as you're starting out on your own islands, which you have to, and the other faction has to start out on their own islands. So you're going to be spread apart actually. So even if you have your honor talents on, what's really going to happen is you're going to get 3 extra talents, and then you're going to get 10% increased XP on those 3 islands. Now you don't go to another island until you hit the cap. Until you hit level 120, you don't actually go to the other islands. You quest on 3 different places, all on the same island, all with the same faction. So you don't actually see any of the other faction until you hit level 120 for the most part. Then you can kind of start questing in other areas, and you can quest on the different islands as you see fit. So if you do that, if you turn on your PvP talents, that's going to help you a lot. I mean, I can't stress that enough. Like, turn on your PvP talents. You're not even going to hit PvP. You're just getting a free 10% XP increase, as well as 3 free talents that are going to help you do whatever it is you want to do in the game. You can quest faster using certain talents that are certain honor talents or whatever. Another thing that I'm going to bring up here is items. And by items, I mean like legendaries, pots, band-aids, goblin glider kits, the little rockets that you can shoot people for extra damage. All of those things, you'll really want to pick up a few of them. You don't have to have all of them. You don't have to have a crazy amount of them. You don't have to use one every time it's on cooldown or anything like that. All I'm saying is bringing those things in can help you guys out a lot, actually. So you can pick up exactly the legendary that you want. With 1,000 weakening essence, you go to the guy in Dalaran and you can talk to him, and he will give you any of the legendaries that you want for your class, for your spec, anything that you want. You can have it for 1,000, and you can specifically pick up the exact piece that you want. There's no more guessing. There's nothing like that. There's no drops. There's no randomly making one. It's you get the exact one you want for 1,000 weakening essence, and then you just go on with your day. So if you have 1,000 weakening essence, if you can get another 1,000 weakening essence, get it, do it. I mean, those are going to help you. That's going to carry you all the way through to the cap of 120. If you have legendaries from this expansion, they will be good all the way through. I think they lose their effects after I think like level 116 or something like that. So, I mean, make sure that you guys get into that and just get your legendaries filled out here. Get them into your inventory. Know what you're gonna run. Know what you're gonna use. We know know everything that you're gonna do. Beyond that, you can actually get like agility pots and stuff like that, strength pots, intellect pots, whatever you want from alchemists, you know, or just the auction house that gives you a little bit of extra power whenever you hit. Beyond that, you can get band-aids. Band-aids are always going to be very valuable for one reason, and that is because if you're not a self-heal class, or even if you are a self-heal class, if you run out of mana, or if you need a heal in general, you're going to be able to CC somebody. Almost always, you're going to be able to CC somebody, as most classes, except for maybe Warrior. You know, they can't CC for very long. But you can obviously just like polymorph something, heal yourself up, continue fighting. You know, band-aids are going to be useful. Goblin gliders, the maps that you're looking at are really just kind of some of them. I won't say all of them, but some of the maps that you're looking at are mountainous, hilly. So you're going to be able to use those goblin gliders for a lot of different things, especially to get out of confrontations or to get into someplace a lot quicker than you normally would be able to. Otherwise, I highly suggest that you check that out. I highly suggest that you pick up some goblin gliders. I highly suggest you pick up a few other things, like whatever you can use. If you want to use rockets, then use some rockets. You know, whatever it is that you want to use, make it happen. You know, I mean, there's not really any reason not to. This one is an interesting one, and with these tips, guys, I'm trying to kind of cover things that people don't usually cover in these videos, because I know there's going to be a ton of other people talking about some of the similar stuff that I could be talking about, but I'm trying to touch on some other stuff that maybe people have missed, and so my tip here is, you know, it's the 10th, the game comes out in 3 days. Do yourself a favor, download the beta, play something, you know, hop on there, whatever you think you're gonna play. Hop on there, make a character on the same faction, same everything, and play through and try to just kind of get a feel for how everything works, get a feel for how the class works, get a feel for how the questing works, how slow it is, how fast it is, how you can use all of these items. That's going to be huge for you guys. If you guys can actually get into the beta and get to know these areas well, it's going to expiate your questing like infinitely. It's going to be so helpful. So I highly suggest that. And the final tip I have for you guys, and I can help you guys with this one also, is have your class that you want to play, class and spec, picked out beforehand. So, I mean, pick it today if you don't have it already, pick it tomorrow, pick it the next day. Don't pick it as you're logging into the game. Don't do that. If you do that, then it's not going to be good, right? You're going to log into the game, you're going to play it for a little bit, and you're going to be like, man, this monk is boring. I only got him to level 111. This sucks. I'm going to switch. And the more times you switch, you know, you're not necessarily wasting time, but you're not making the most of your time. You know, it's really good to find what you want to level it up, and then you have somebody at max level that you can play there. That's your end game. You know, you have a level 120, you can move from there and then start leveling up your ult. You know, you don't want to spread the love too thin or anything like that, because then it gets kind of boring and you fall behind on gear and everything else. If you do need any help picking out another class, check out my my most recent video. The video that came out before this one was talking about what I want to play and what I'm probably going to start leveling in Battle for Azeroth, starting with like Rogue and going down the list. And I talk about why I'm leveling them, I talk about how strong they are, and I talk about their playstyle. So if that interests you guys, then do check that out. It might help you guys pick out your class, and if not, you know, you'll have some miscellaneous knowledge that you can use in Battle for Azeroth. Anyway, guys, those are all the tips for me today. Join my Discord, link is in the description. Also, subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Let me know what you guys think about Battle for Azeroth. Anyway, guys, until next time, I will see you all later. Peace!